Hey, it's Kimberly and welcome back to my channel. I make videos on all things lifestyle on a budget and I am so excited. I cannot wait to do part 2 of my Blender Showdown series. If you haven't checked out that first video in that series, I was comparing the BlendJet 2 to the Magic Bullet. So many of you guys enjoyed that video, so I want to continue this series. I actually really enjoy it myself. I'm fascinated by it because we're trying to get to what's portable, what is convenient to use, what is the best bang for your money, all the good things, and I want to share it with you. I have 2 other blenders that I'm going to be comparing to the BlendJet 2 to keep it in the portable blender series, because honestly the first one may not have been truly fair because the Magic Bullet is not truly portable. There is a cord, so no more cords. Just a quick update on BlendJet 2. A company reached out to me and offered to send me a new blender because, as I mentioned in the video, I was having some issues with the charge and I was like, I'm good. It just wasn't high on my list to go through all of that to exchange it because, like I said, I had another blender already and that one still works, but it was something that I felt was important to mention in the video so that if a new consumer were to buy it and have that issue, they too could reach out. Today, drum roll please, we will be comparing the BlendJet 2 to the NutriBullet Go to the Blendy Blender Pro. How did this all come about? Well, I happened to be at my mom's house recently and I saw that she had 2 other blenders. And I remember the first time I was introduced to the BlendJet 2 through her, she mentioned that she had the NutriBullet Go and she did not like it at all. She was like, this is a waste, I wish I didn't buy it, da 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 da. And I was like, So this time when I went recently, I was like, let me see what this whole deal is about. And I also saw that she had the Blendy Blender Pro. So the Blendy Blender Pro, which is a really funny name, retails for about $79.95. It's a 17.5 ounce, which is larger than any of the other blenders I've tried. So inside the container that you get for the Blendy Blender, you get the blender, of course. You get a water bottle conversion top. You get a blade cover / container, and you get the USB cord. So with most of these portable blenders, you're not gonna get a little wall plug, you're going to get the USB cord, so you have to find something that can connect to the wall if you want the charge. The NutriBullet Go ranges from $25 to $30-ish. It's not shown on the container, but on the website it lists as 13 ounces. It also comes with a blade cover, and in this case it came with a whole nother cup and a cover as well. And of course the USB port. Now let's talk about charging really quickly because I don't know, I just always have an issue. The NutriBullet Go actually charged fairly easily. The Blendy Blender Pro, when I took it out of the box, I pushed the button just out of curiosity and it did go. I don't know, it says to wait until the FL letter came up, meaning that it was full, and that took a really long time. I think it was about 2 hours later that I decided I just want to go with whatever charge it has. Luckily when I did blend, it did hold a charge. Later on, after I used it, I put it back on the charger and it wasn't until a couple hours later I finally said full. Maybe it was a first time fluke, but I was able to just take it off the charger and blend it and it did work. And I will say the next day when I went back to use it again, it was still working. For the BlendJet 2, it's 16 ounces, but they also sell an extender, which my mom happened to have.
So she has the large size, which is 20 ounce, but they also sell an extra large that's 32 ounces. So this whole idea was kind of on a whim and I didn't have that many ingredients, but I did have a bunch of these Jetpack smoothies. These are actually really great and they're from BlendJet 2, so that's what I'm going to be using. I always like to do a little spoon test to make sure everything is blended up, and then I saw that I had a little bit more space, so I added some water, went a little bit over, and then mixed it again, and I thought it was perfect. Now the Blendy Blender kept boasting about how it could crush ice, so I was super happy to try the ice out, wanted to test it out. Naturally, there's always a situation, so listen up. I don't know where the clip is of me blending this up, so I don't have it, but I'm about to switch over to me blending a smoothie the next day, and you'll have that clip so you can see it in action. But of course, naturally, because it was the second day, I decided to overfill it, and it did have a couple issues at first blending because I stuffed it, but as you can see, it did eventually work. So here's my full transparency on how the experience was, and now I'm going to switch back to what happened the first day. This was truly a defining moment. I have researched so many blenders in the past couple of weeks and never did I come across a feature like this, and so I absolutely had to share and highlight this because I think this sets it apart from any other blender that's out there. And both the NutriBullet Go and the Blendy Blender are super easy to clean, no problems at all, and even also to clean the blades as well. Everything was very, very smooth, very straightforward.
Now, my opinion when using both of these is that it was fairly easy. I just looked for where the blade was and I tried to remember to put whatever was needing more work, like ice or frozen fruit. I tried to put that at the bottom so that it could crush right up with the blade, which is really great. I was surprisingly impressed by the NutriBullet Go. Again, I thought it was gonna be really crappy or, conk out, but it actually did really, really well. Now, personally, I usually like larger smoothies, but not everyone needs that. And if you're looking for a simple smoothie to put together, I think that's good. Can we just round of applause for the Blendy Blender? Are you kidding me? While it's something that you can carry around the whole blender itself, what if you don't want to do that? What if you don't want to walk around with the blade as well? What if you don't want to drink into the blade at the end? What if when you're on the go, you accidentally push the blade button? Nobody needs that to happen and your smoothie's just all of a sudden going, like obviously with the cap closed, but you don't need that to happen. The fact that you can take the blender off and put a little cap on at the bottom, innovative. Clap it up. Round of applause. They really did that. I was curious, like, oh, when I turn it upside down, will the contents spill out? No, because there's a little suction where the spout is that makes sure everything is closed. BlendJet 2, just saying, if you want to go above and beyond, you should offer an optional water bottle conversion cap and put that on there. Even if you're on the go, you can just switch it out, rinse off the blade, and then here's where the blade cover comes in. Pop the blade cover on and you're good to go. Now with the NutriBullet, same thing. You pop the blade off and you put a cap on and you bounce. Amazing. Round of applause for them too on that portability. That to me is something that mind blown. Didn't expect that to happen. Really impressed by that, and it is a game changer for the better. You would think that I was 100% about to say that the Blendy Blender Pro was perfect, amazing, highly recommended, all those things. I say that, but there is one thing. There's one small thing that they didn't get quite right. When you pop the top for the Blendy Blender, which by the way, there's a little hook to keep it closed, and you start drinking and you bring it up to your face, what happens? The cap hits your face. The cap hits your nose. Because the cap is loose. Obviously, because of the way that it flaps open, it has to have a loose hinge. The littlest thing, it's the tiniest thing, but when you drink it, like, it hits you in the face. And you're like, what's happening? So, obviously, easy solution, yes, hold the cap away from your face and then you can drink, but I'm just saying it's a little inconvenient. A little. Now, is this something that would prevent me from buying it? Absolutely not. Like Blendy Blender, take my money. I think $80 is a lot, but this thing does so many things. It is worth it. I don't give any passes to anyone. As you can see, my videos are very constructively critical. It's always based on consumer preference. I try to think of things that I naturally as a consumer would be annoyed by or bugged by or love or find amazing or innovative, etc. So I don't take any points from it, but I'm just saying that little thing could actually be something that would annoy someone enough to be like, I'm not buying it. Since actually that was not mine, I actually want to buy a Blendy Blender Pro. So the reigning champ has now transferred on to the Blendy Blender Pro. I didn't know anything about these two blenders before. I am so impressed. If you are shopping blenders or if you are curious about what the most portable blender is, I'm giving it up to the Blendy Blender Pro. If you are looking to save money and certain things within there are not that massive of an issue for you, you can carry the blade around, you don't really care, you want something that's easy, convenient, and sleek, I would say go for the BlendJet 2. Nothing wrong with that. If you are like, I don't really care about all these fancy smoothie mixes, I just want to have my basics, you just maybe use 3 ingredients in your blending, you maybe don't need to have that much of quantity of it, and you just want something really tiny and cute, whatever, then go with the NutriBullet Go, because again, they still have the blade cover, etc., which I think is such a good idea to just kind of make sure that that thing isn't just sitting out exposed. If you want more in-depth about the BlendJet 2, check out my previous videos so you can get a breakdown of everything, because I went top to bottom on that one to figure it out. YouTube fam, what are we thinking? Comment down below. Let's have a discussion. What do you think of these 3 blenders? Which one stands out most to you? Which one has the biggest issue for you? Is it the charging? Is it the size of the blender? Is it a cap hitting your face? What are the things that are important to you when you're looking for a blender? I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.